DroneTalks is an online platform to spread ideas and to educate in the drone ecosystem. At DroneTalks, we discuss technology, regulatory, business, and ecosystem topics openly with industry leaders to enable and foster innovation for a better future.
And we're back. Another change of stage, and I'm still here, but the new guest of DroneTalks here is Phil Kenul, a good friend as well from ASTM these days, and we are here to talk about some quite interesting topics, I have to say, that we didn't cover so far. So welcome, Phil.
Well, thanks for having me here, Lorenzo. I'm really glad to be in Amsterdam and talking with you today.
Fantastic. Listen, Phil, I cannot not ask you. BVLOS ARC came out in the United States a couple of weeks ago. It's still a lot of comments online, offline, corridor talks about the impact that it's going to have. I was chit-chatting with Jay Merkel. Of course, I cannot say what he said, but
yes.
Obviously, there is a lot that is a lot at stake with the BVLOS ARC. So tell us something. How do you see it?
Yeah, so I was on the ARC committee as well, and just to compare with the previous ARC that I was on, the Remote ID ARC, Aviation Rulemaking Committee, and there's a little difference. Everybody thought there was a big challenge with remote ID. I think the Beyond Visual Line of Sight ARC presents a extremely large number, multiple times challenge than the Remote ID ARC. And there was good, bad, and ugly in the ARC report. Mostly good. The FAA didn't constrain us at all in what we were gonna provide recommendations on, but they wanted us to stay in scope, and the scope was really providing beyond visual line of sight for package delivery, linear inspections, and to be sure that we kept UAS that was within air traffic control out in scope. So we had several major recommendations, and some of those recommendations had to do with the right-of-way rules, and that was the most contentious issue on the ARC as well. So a lot of people didn't agree with it, but I think by letting the FAA letting us have a wide field and a big aperture, I think there's going to be a lot of good that's going to come out of it.
Excellent, fantastic. And I'm sure the ASTM is probably preparing a lot of work, a lot of material in support of whatever is going to come out of the BVLOS ARC. I mean, I know that you are very active on the BVLOS topic, like
yes.
ASTM, all the standards that are supposed to come out. Where are we now with that? What's the situation?
Well, let me just back up to the ARC again, because what I see is that there was so many recommendations in there. My personal guess is that there's not going to just be one notice of proposed rulemaking that's going to come out. I think there's so much material in there that there'll be multiple rules that'll come out of that ARC. And what we're doing at ASTM is we're preparing to be very proactive on what's going to come out of the ARC and to see where standards are going to be applicable to support beyond visual line of sight. And that's something that we're already doing. So, but currently, some of the activities that we're doing in ASTM is we have an administrative committee, 478, that's looking at a strategic roadmap for beyond visual line of sight. And we're breaking it down to those requirements that we can develop standards for that will give us pretty much fly opportunities in the future for beyond visual line of sight. And that's what we really need in place first is policy, regulations, and then the standards to support those regulations as well. We've also put our first standard out for ballot under AC 478 in our committee, and that is precision navigation and timing.
Fantastic, thank you, Phil. And I want to come back as well to the ARC to talk about one topic that was recurring somehow in the hundreds of pages of the recommendation, which was the FAA to seek for international harmonization, right? And I mean, I know you are a champion of that. Like I've seen you in Europe more than I've seen you in the United States, to be honest, and not only Europe, right? So I know that you are really a champion of harmonization, of partnership with standards. So how is it going from that front? How is it going from an ASTM perspective? Are we starting to be more harmonized than before? What are the challenges or opportunities there?
Oh yeah. I think we're making a lot of progress. We're in a much better position than we were 5 and 10 years ago, in that there's so much work out there to support this emerging technologies, not just in UAS, but in advanced air mobility as well. And no single SDO or regulator can take care of everything themselves. So what we've been doing at ASTM is having agreements with other standard organizations to make sure we're not duplicating effort. And I think you've heard that time and time again. but we're actually working very well with our European counterparts at EuroK and ASTM in that we're sharing information. We've actually provided ASTM the blueprint, the groundwork for the remote ID standard, which they're going to use in the open category. So ASTM is trying to be very open and collaborative to make sure that the industry is served the best. And what the industry doesn't want, they don't want a separate set of standards and regulations in Europe and a separate set in North America. And we need to harmonize that. And I think we're on the path to that right now pretty well.
Perfect. I think on this positive note, we can conclude this interview. Thank you very much, Phil, for being with us, and see you around.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Phil.
Good to see you again.
Brought to you by DroneTalks Online, a platform designed to spread ideas and educate in the drone ecosystem.